Hello, guys. It is chasebt694, and we're playing Arcimengo. He's from Italy, and we're playing in the Reddit tournament. So this is actually my first game this year, and there's definitely some changes this year. So we're um, trying some new things and doing some tiers, and so we're giving this a go. So kind of did +2 with random setup, and then I ended up with USA. Kind of looking at the cards. I don't have a big 4-up card. We do have blockade, so hopefully we'll be able to get rid of Suez. Kind of a little bit at the mercy. We really don't want to have this would be a bad hand to get red scared. But if we do get red scared, it's not in the world because we can pretty much play everything else and hold on to blockade to turn 2. So, kind of, in my opinion, we really have two options here as far as headlines. We got Capture Nazi Scientists, where we go ahead and get a head start on the space race and Middle East scoring. So, you've watched me before. I love playing Middle East scoring as a headline. Turn 1, action round 1, or yeah, as your headline, turn 1 as USA. It's +4 points majority of the time. Every once in a while, you'll catch the Soviets playing Nasser, but majority of the time they don't, just because of tempo and the way they want to typically play. So, love playing Middle East because majority of the time you're starting off the game +4. Um, you know, Throw the extra influence in Italy, it's beefed up, and then you kind of have two areas that you're really concentrating on. Hopefully Europe and Asia, and then you're not worrying about Middle East. You already scored it. So that's typically kind of what I'm thinking here. So we'll go ahead and we'll play Middle East. Hopefully we'll score it for 4. They won't play Nasser. But even if they do, it's even. It's not the worst thing, especially if there are some bad things that can happen in the Middle East. You can get completely just blocked out before you ever get going. So we'll see what they do. They play Vietnam Revolts, so it gets them a head start. So we'll try to see what they do, and hopefully we can get a little lucky and knock them out of Vietnam. Like in the ideal world, we'd actually just knock them out, not let them back in. So they're going with the coup, and they're still going after Middle East. They roll 2, they knock us out, so it doesn't give us a opportunity to kind of roll back. We'll go ahead and get rid of blockade. We're going against a 1-op country, so kind of trying to maximize it. And we roll a 1, so that's a pretty bad result. We'll see what he does here. But got rid of blockade. He doesn't have. I mean, he can obviously go after Panama. We can coup back. But even majority of the time, I feel like early war. There's so many things you want to do, and especially with the Soviets. They have such an easy sometimes with ops to be able to really just spread influence. If you kind of get in a coup battle in Southeast Asia or in Afghanistan, something like that, to me, I typically feel like that favors the U.S. in the long run. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully, we'll also be able to play Capture Nazi Scientists to get +2. Go ahead and get up +6. We can coup with Cambridge. Don't mind playing Fidel early because it makes him kind of force him to play CIA. So he does have De Gaulle, and he's spreading influence. So instead of really being able to take opportunity of that Vietnam, I would have slammed it all in the Southeast Asia. We roll a 1 again, which is awful. We roll a 4 or a 5, and we kind of feel like we have an anchor there. Instead, we roll a 2, but so we're not so a little disappointed there. I kind of also felt like after the last coup, if he had blockade, if he had Asia, he would have went ahead and scored it. So independent Reds is out. He coups, he rolls a 3. So if he's got the now we'll go ahead. All right, kind of keep the pressure a little bit. Right now, we still like to space capture Nazi. Honestly, we would like to space Fidel, but it's not that big of a deal if we do play it early. And then ultimately, since we're way behind in Asia, uh, looks like we might lose that little tier. We're kind of in a little tough shot spot, Middle East. Might throw East European unrest, and so he slams all of it, which we'll go ahead and just take the front runner on the space track, the 2 points. Mm. All right, so we lose that war card. Normally, we don't want to get completely blitzed out of the Middle East. We actually have a decent roll. I wish we would have had one of those a little earlier. So we don't drop DEFCON, but kind of the idea there was definitely to at least have a foothold in the Middle East. We didn't want to completely get locked out. We know it's not going to come back to turn 3, but man, you don't want to get completely shut out of the Middle East. We still want to be able to throw some influence in Europe. We'd love to be able to throw this there, but we got a couple options here. DEFCON's at 4. Do we want to let him have an opportunity to, grab socialist government, coup Italy, or something like that? So we'll probably will coup if he doesn't coup. Just go ahead and see if we can get lucky and maybe roll a 4 or 5, a 5 or 6 in Thailand. All right, so we're going to go ahead and coup Pakistan. Roll 2. So, man, we kind of struggling in Asia. I think there's a great opportunity to throw defectors turn 2. We could also play CIA, kind of see what he has. But if you really wanted to coup something, you're not, he still gets to coup back. Do you really want to go with Pakistan with a 1? We're just going to go defectors. So that way, if he's got socialist government or Red Scare, we're not getting Red Scared. We're not getting socialist government, and kind of an opportunity for them to slide into Europe. So we do have socialist government. Good point. But boom, there's Red Scare. So that is a nice thing. So the good news is we get a whole D-stall with this hand. We'll space socialist government, and then we've got U.S. Japan, NORAD. We've got some ops. Kind of hold on to Truman just in case if we need to do something a little tricky. So we got a big 4-up card. We're gonna give it a go. He played Indian Pakistan war card, so I'll roll a 2. Even if we roll a 3 there, at least we can have a little tick mark and get into Iran. Oh well. So not a lot of ops here either when you consider CIA and Truman. So thinking, NORAD, we could go ahead and go into France. We need to score the Europe points if we can. Asia's kind of we're just might have to choose our battle a little bit later. We don't want him to be able to get away. If he does have Europe, at least make him earn it. A little suspect here if he slams the China card into something here. We don't really have a good counter if he makes a big play. But sometimes just got to make a few, you got to take a few risks. That's going to be our risk at the moment. Probably want to go ahead and get a little, a tick mark op in Israel. Just hard to get knocked out of Israel once you're there. Minus the war card, which we obviously got knocked out of. Mm. So one thing to consider here is if he does have the China card, right? Do we really want him to slam all five ops into Japan? He, and then he plays that for control. So that's why we went ahead and played the one op. That way he can't just slam it all and go in. He doesn't know other cards. Um, he still could. He could still make a run at it. But that one little op might be just enough to keep him from really slamming it at the moment. Uh, Go ahead and use this to coup. Keep him hopefully 2 victory points with roll of 6. So after 3-4 really bad rolls all in Asia, we apparently we can't roll good in Asia, but we can in the Middle East. Both of those rolls are good. Every roll we had in Asia, not so much. We still want a space. We want a space socialist government. So he could have definitely done that with the China play. By the way, we'll go ahead and coup, not coup, but space. We could space again with D-stall, but we don't want to. We want to hold it for the redraw. We space it now. It could be right back out turn 3. Or if we wait now, then till turn 3, then we space it, and we don't have to hopefully worry about that card in the early war. And typically, I think for the Soviets, D-stall is probably the most important card. It's their most obvious access to South America and a lot of parts of Africa. It's a card that really can set. I hate that call. All right. Go ahead and throw it. Just make it a little bit tougher. Looking at our cards here, we've got, we got Truman back, which is nice. We're going to throw containment out. Nice thing about containment is, especially with our current ops that we have now, we're going to play UN intervention with D-stall. We have, Nasser suddenly becomes 2. Truman is 2 if we don't use it. It makes it easier to space decall. Cambridge 5. So it felt like a hand looking at our ops that we needed to do that. So he's able to get out of European scoring. So we do want to definitely coup here. The reason why we want to coup here is, he gave up his coup opportunity. So let's see if we can make him pay for it. So instead of scoring 5 points, hopefully we score 2 points. And we roll a 6. So it kind of puts us in good space there. So kind of even out a little bit. We are going to most likely have to give up a good many points on Asia. Don't really have the ops to really even that battleground out. And then we want a space decall. We can't play Cambridge 5 until after we play Asia. We want to get to Libya before we play Nasser. We'd also like to take back France, but it's not a priority since there's just so much we have to do. All right. Might as well bite the bullet. It's not going to get any better. So there's that. At least we gained a victory point back with him playing Japan. We could theoretically space Nasser too with the containment, but I think we might just still play it just that way it's out of the deck and we don't have to worry about it. The thought process being that we're gonna have Camp David, we're gonna have Sadat. So hopefully we'll be able to flip Egypt, but having Nasser potentially still hanging around to the mid to late, gets late board, come back out turn 7. But then tempo wise, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But I think it's still worth to go ahead and play it. Getting it out of the deck. So my idea with Cambridge 5 here, we'll go ahead and set up to be able to take Libya. We're kind of even in Middle East, so if the scoring card came back out, go ahead, score it. But giving us maybe potentially a chance here to, if he goes ahead and really just, I need a slam ops in the Middle East to try to, be able to score that region. I'm going to play Truman, go ahead and take France back. Which I'm assuming he'll take Iran and then use the one op to take France. That's what I would do. I think that's what I would do. But if he goes Iran and Lebanon, he uses his 3 ops. I might go ahead and take France. I know he's going ahead and giving up the 3-4 points for the scoring card. But the thing with Europe, which still would probably be a folly, is the fact it got so long to try to attack Europe. We have multiple ways to be able to attack it. So don't feel like he's got Middle East just because of the fact he took France. So we'll go ahead and take Libya. We're not going to worry about France. We're going to have time later. Truman's still in the deck, so he still has to worry about it later. Definitely could come back and help us later in the game to be able to flip it back. And then, we play Nasser, but now the rest of the game he has to worry about Sadat. So a lot of times, how willing are you ready to take it back knowing that just an op can take it away? So a couple good things here. We got Colonial Rook Arts. We got CIA. I think right now, tempo-wise, we might go ahead and play CIA. A lot of people like to think that, hey, keep it in deck, make it be a problem card for Russia. But it's not going to come back out turn 7. It's a pretty vital part of the game. Where Africa is kind of swingy. Don't really want to give the easy access to Central America. If he's got, so there's lots of things we're worried about and things he could do. So it'd be nice to see what cards he has. So Muslim Revolution's bad card right now for us. So he takes Libya and Egypt. He likely does not have Middle East scoring. But Marshall Plan, boom. Let's see here. Bear Trap. Anyway, so we get something there. So I would probably play Marshall Plan. All right. We drop DEF CON. I space bear trap, I hold on to play Marshall Plan, and I hold on to away west if I'm him. We do have Nixon plays the China cards. Hopefully, we can steal that. We kept the coup, so we'd like to be able to, go ahead and take Mexico, realign them out of Central America, and get some points back there. Probably space South Africa and the rest. That's really, we don't really have a problem hand here. We got actually kind of a nice hand. Not necessarily a powerhouse as far as sheer ops, but it's not bad either. A couple 3 ops are usable. We got good events and rear cards, and Nixon plays the China card, which I think at this game, I think I actually might play it. A lot of times I'll just play it for ops, keeping it in the deck. I'll redo that. So tempo wise, we're not worried about Europe. A little worried about Middle East. We saw he didn't have the scoring card, so what we'd like to do is kind of push our advantage in Africa, push our advantage in Central America. So hopefully we can realign out. So we'll use a card, try to realign out of Cuba. If there's anything extra, we'll try realign out Nigeria. And that would be awesome because then we could, Colombo Guard takes it. So he's throwing ops Middle East. He doesn't know if what we have. I'm going to space. We're successful. We really want to be able to hopefully score Central America for more than just even or a couple points. And the main reason being, we're down. We're down uh, on the board and the score. So he's blitzing Middle East, but we've got other priorities. We could do something like play John Paul to be able to force him to throw some ops, but Warsaw Pact hadn't played. Um, we could also still be a little tricky. Sadat's still in the deck, and Camp David. See if we can do all right. Our realignments, nice. Come on, nice. Knock him out. Bonus, nice. So that's a pretty phenomenal realignment. Get him out of Central America. Uh, go ahead and play YouTube Instant into Cuba. Score Central America for 8. Uh, throw Colonial Rear Guard out. Take Nigeria. Um, threaten Thailand. do give up the victory point, but I mean, it's 3 versus 8, so he misses a space race again. That's where his one luck it's definitely not been. Um, and then we'll play Colonial Rear Guards and China card. Or maybe we'll play the China card and then Colonial Rear Guards. Maybe we'll do it that way. So we are getting controlled in the Middle East. So go ahead and play the China card. Sometimes nice to do that play late in the hand, especially if they've kind of worked out how they're going to play. So maybe it changes a little bit what they do their last play if they're trying to hold 2 cards and have the right play. I know he has OS found it. I can't remember what his other card was. All right, Voice of America is nice. Oh, and we have Camp David and Sadat. We do have Defectors again and Red Scare. So really some good options. Camp David's good because he's currently has control of the Middle East. But it gives him also something to immediately coup after. But maybe that is the deal. Have him coup there instead of Africa. Hmm. Um, we also have the China card, so depending on what he does, we can maybe have an opportunity to flip Thailand, especially in Asia. We're way behind, and Southeast Asia. So that is worth looking at. The problem here is we got some good cards. We don't have great uh, tempo. We're going to play Defectors. We don't want to play Junta. So, we got some great little deals, but going ahead and getting to South America is not part of it. We have Panama now, so we can hopefully take the initiative in South America. Let's see what he does here. So we got opportunities here. We could play. We'll go ahead and play Camp David. I know part of me wants to play the China card, flip power, but that 10 spot for Middle East, pretty huge. Uh, gotta address that in Middle East. Uh, you know, versus, but hopefully we can play Voice of America, take Libya. We'll also be able to flip it as well. Uh, Rush War. Oh, that sucks. All that hard work. So if he's got Middle East, he's got Middle East. Um, he's missed every space race. We'll go ahead and play this for the event. So hopefully we can discard Middle East. Come on, let's roll it. A bit of a dilemma in South America. We're going to be able to get there first. Do we keep it in the deck or not? So one thing we might also try to do is play into Tunisia, play Voice America, get them out of Libya and Egypt, and then be able to venture into both of those. Um, if he takes Egypt back, we go into Libya. If he tries to coup Tunisia, we hope he misses. We go into Egypt, then we take Tunisia. That's ultimately the goal. We can still coup too, hopefully, but we need to play Panama Canal. So we'll do that, get into South America, go into Tunisia, play Voice of America, and then probably use John Paul or Portuguese Empire to take one of those two countries. That is the game plan. All right. So, he kind of had just a one opper. So, well, unfortunately, we didn't get the 2 points for that in the poke in the chest. He's got us pretty good at the moment. But we've managed to score so far. That's the biggest thing that we've been able to do here. So kind of looking at it, you know, we can at least get a little bit of a foothold in the Middle East. Would be nice. And that brush war hurt. So we could have just played Voice America straight. Oh, what's he taking? Hmm. So go ahead and try to solidify our stronghold in South America. Make it a little tough for him just to be able to play to get it. Maybe he gets the southern part. So be it. Let him have it. Right now in this game, we can't just get blitzed in South America. Um, if we use any of our cards right now, I mean, it's basically like going with a one-up card, but we will still give it a go. Also, kind of wanted to play John Paul over there. A little surprised he went to well, he went realignments, right? Um, so we get lucky. We roll two. Well, biggest thing is we couldn't give 4 victory points for the military ops. We've got South America. We got Africa. Um, Still have Voice of America. So we can definitely take them out of the southern part of South America, which is nice. But we still have to worry about Allende. And we still would like not to get completely raced in Middle East. Um, Let's be interested to see what play he's got here. All right. Hmm. So we're gonna definitely we can play. We will bury you. Get 3 victory points. Drops a DEF CON, and then he would get one of our cards to do whatever he wants to, or we can give him. We will bury you. Play a scoring card. Hmm. So go ahead and play South America scoring. We'll catch 1 victory point. We'll give him. We will bury. So the big thing is it kind of takes away from him being able to coup Thailand, which is nice. Also, hopefully, probably going to coup something in Africa, which is okay. So here comes the coup. It's not overly successful. Go ahead and protect Thailand. Hmm. All right, so we get through some scoring cards. And right now, the only place where really hasn't scored is Middle East. So a little bit of pretty awesomeness that hasn't come out yet. So maybe gives us a little bit of a tempo, but maybe we can still do the play where we go into Tunisia, play Voice of America, and be able to wiggle our way in. We also, I mean, that's torn between that. We could also still play Voice America, take them out of South America. But Allende is probably in the deck. High percentage he actually has the card now. So, or he will get it most likely in the other deal. So it's kind of we can, it's already been scored and blah, blah, blah. Right. So we go ahead and take Costa Rica. The reason why, let's say he rolls a 6, it's a 9. Um, he knock us all the way out, but he can knock us out with a perfect roll. But he's not suddenly getting influence there. So it's, the only place he can coup, if he rolls a 6, we're still safe. He rolls a 2, and then we're also good just in case of, liberation theology happens. There's an extra target for him to take to try to block your domination. We definitely would like to play Cultural Revolution now before he has the opportunity to play the China card. So we'd rather have an opportunity to try to, space Warsaw Pact. And we're also not that worried about playing Portuguese Empire. We have 7. We hate giving them the adjacency where he can get to Botswana and South Africa, but it's kind of a little bit of, what are you going to do? So he plays NORAD, which definitely means if we get Quagmire, we're definitely not playing Quagmire. So we'll go ahead and grab it. Never know when suddenly you're going to be able to use one of those NORAD points going into the late war. Be interested to see what he has, if he had to play NORAD or if he felt like he was going to be able to get rid of it. Like maybe he does have Quagmire. Right now we're in pretty rough shape, especially in the Middle East. So luckily he didn't draw the scoring card, or he would have 100% already played it. I think he could have potentially have done as well. When he moved the DEFCON up, he could have definitely tried to realign us out of Israel. Because right now we're still kind of there. We kind of get to things, play stuff, and so he could have maybe have made attempt to try to block us completely out of the Middle East. That's one of the reasons why we went to Tunisia too, but we might get realigned there as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he does here. So he spaces unsuccessfully again. He's been, he's been lucky and he's gotten the right cards all places. If he would have been able to hold serve with the space race, goodness gracious, he'd probably already have won. So here's the play with this. We're if he coups Tunisia, we go into Egypt. If he just goes to Egypt, we go to Libya. Um, that is the play. So we'll see what he does. Hopefully he goes for a coup in Tunisia and misses it, and then that will give us an opportunity to kind of just, maybe take both Egypt and Libya. That's what we hope for. See what happens. And then another observation about Asia, we're still behind on obviously, he's got the four uh, country counts, battlegrounds. But if we pick up, the three uncontrolled countries, I believe we can take the total country count. So it'd be one, two, three, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah, we definitely could. So we got a chance to even out Asia, uh, or not. So yeah, Jay is going for the coup, and he rolls a six. Ugh. So a misplay by our partner here. He rolls something crazy. We had an opportunity to take both those, which would have been nice. And then, once you have, would have made a big difference. Uh, but we got that back down to, yeah, he's still scoring it, but he's not scoring it for 10. 10 kills you. 5 or 6, you can deal with. It's a tough one. Part of me kind of wants to not do it, but we'll see if we can get something good here. And we'll get Summit. So that's a net loss. Probably just should have held pat. Especially since we didn't mind having Warsaw, even if we spaced it, because wouldn't mind trying to space race there too. But it was one thing to note in Central America is as we get close to the end game, is we definitely have to watch out for um, the Nicaragua card. Where you give a coup, where they can coup adjacency, and since we have influence in Cuba, it could be a DEFCON suicide card. So definitely have to be cognizant of that card. All right. So we got the Middle East scoring card. We get to see his card first. So if we can go ahead and dump Middle East, we will. Um, we have to worry about lone gunman, obviously. Um, but one really good thing is we did get Quagmire, so we can space Quagmire, get rid of the card, and then hopefully we don't have to worry about seeing our NORAD disappear. But headlines again day. It's almost a throw off. We'll go ahead and cough up the Middle East. Uh, it's a win, in my opinion. For most of this game, that's been 5 points. So we do have some nice ops. So, oh, that's a nice coup. See if we can go ahead and flip France back. We're in pretty good shape. We're not really worried about. We know we can space Quagmire. We're not worried about playing Comic Con or Willie Brandt. If we did lose a card, we'd be a little worried about Pulp Gudman, but right now, turn 7, we don't have to worry about that nearly as much. We would be nice to get the China card, or there's an opportunity for us to get rid of it. Would be nice too, but if it comes, we'll definitely have to see what he does. So, um, to take Libya back, we'll go ahead and take France back. Um, we'd throw one in Greece too, just in case Brush War comes back out. Makes it a little tougher. Uh, since I don't believe we have NATO, so NATO is not going to be in effect to protect Italy. So we're just trying to make it be just a little bit. Um, he plays shuttle diplomacy, which takes away a battle morale. So his country count decreases. Uh, and it's 3-2, so it kind of gives us some fighting territory a little bit Asia, which is nice. So right now, the big worry, is worry a little bit about Africa. It's our major worry right now, point wise. We already coughed up Middle East, so that's the worst hit we're gonna have. Uh, you know, we dodged the complete control that was happening, the 10 pointer, um, and then so we're okay. We're battling, so we're tempo wise, I think we're okay a little bit. We just still need a couple things to go our way. Yeah. Hmm. We'll go ahead and space so we can pick up 3 points. We miss it. So we got a couple options here. We can kind of try to set up a realignment in Central America, but I kind of feel like all hands on board a little bit in Africa. We went in through one in Taiwan too, just because we know, especially since that shuttle diplomacy, we got a chance to kind of gain a little bit there. So, uh, coups, we need military ops. We have not cooed well. So he spaces your Surrey. He finally is successful. We'll go ahead and space again. Really wanted that 3 points. Plus, we wanted to make it a little tougher in Europe, because we hadn't thrown a ton of ops in there. Um, all right. Some some tense moments here. Really just, you know, I feel like I had an opportunity to kind of attack here and just didn't really have quite what I needed to, but we did flip France, which is huge, which flipped the region. We didn't literally lose ground here in Africa, but it would have been nice to try to set up a little bit more of a realignment. Um, Man, the coup that really hurts is Tunisia. If we would have, held on there and that would have, you know, not flipped, we possibly could be setting up a real easy realignment. It reinforces. Go ahead and just kind of push our country count a little bit in Asia. I was thinking that Formosan was still in the deck, but I think we actually is not. Not I think we pretty much already played that. So I was thinking that would be a battleground that would be even up. But the good news is though, Korean War is still out there, so it makes it a tougher win draw. But now we have a big 4-op card, so depending on what he does, we're pretty much okay defensively against almost anything he does, and then we can also be kind of a little offensive, um, and hopefully really go after something like slamming that card into North Korea, or in this case, looks like we're having a big coup card, so we don't lose a point. We'll go ahead and coup Zaire. Might roll a 4. All right, so awesome news. We got war games, so we won the 50-50 draw there. We have Aldrich Ames, so we can get rid of Lone Gunman. However, we do have to be careful with Liberation Theology and Muslim Revolution. Not that big of a deal. Latin American debt crisis. We're not battling the same country, so whatever. Go to 10 and whatever you have in Argentina. That's fine. We have Defector, so if he has something pretty awesome here as a headline, we can have to cancel it. And then we can also be a little aggressive here with cards. Maybe we pick up some points with arms race if we need to. Not sure. And then space wise, probably try the Space Muslim Revolution for 3 points. It is late war, so maybe he does play the card where we can play it for ops. So that's kind of the hand. So kind of be careful with Liberation Theology. That's our big yeah. So we can't deal with the lone gunman terrorism threat. We actually could still get rid of it because we could play Aldrich Ames still at the end of that. But what if it pulls Aldrich Ames and you're really hurt? So make the safe call. We block that. The good news is the card that comes out where that doubles this effect. We don't have to worry about it. So we can play it, kind of without consequence. They won't play because they already have our Iran. So an okay spot. Maybe we can still set up a realignment, knock them out of Nigeria. Be nice. And then also we do get our NORAD, so maybe we can be a little aggressive here with NORAD. Oh, my bad. Didn't realize it. Async games. Guys played. So definitely interesting to see what he does on his first play. Which region does he attack? Because pretty much everything is kind of open again. So except for the Middle East. So Central America scoring card. So, so attack Middle East. Also going to Libya. Maybe we catch an extra victory point here, but have him going to 4. Um, go ahead and take back Zaire. And we're ahead on the space track. I'm pretty sure Salt had been played earlier in the game. So no worries about playing war games. I mean, and if he does have something where he gets to pull it back, so be it. So, all right. So he plays ABM Treaty, but we do get NORAD. So a couple of options here. All right. So now we're kind of resetting up a realignment. So hopefully we can realign him on out of Nigeria. Possibly, if he decides to coup something, maybe we can go ahead and just flip Algiers. Um, but it feels like Africa scoring card is in play. Um, and we're definitely have to be proactive too, because we're right on that cusp. He's got 14 points. He's already going to get 2 victory points unless I can coup here in a minute. So we got to be able to coup something to get military ops. We can't get enough military ops to use arms race, so there is that as well. Uh, we had a space race. So look at that. Awesome. So we get to play Muslim Revolution, which is kind of awesome. We could take that right now and flip Saudi Arabia right now. But we're going to go ahead and realign because I think Africa has to be done right now. Got the. Come on. Well, we were positive on the modifier, but weren't successful. So we're not denting South America, and we know we're also playing Latin American Tech Crisis. We'll go ahead and throw it to Guatemala and just kind of hope that he has to deal with it. So we'd rather him coup that, hopefully unsuccessfully, rolls a 1, isn't successful, piggyback after he rolls a 6. But not a big deal. Go ahead and realign again. And this at +2, +3 to a 1. Yep. Of course, nothing. All right. And we're going to not discard because that only card we could discard. Well, we could arms race or voucher games, but going 10 to 8 is not that big of a deal. And South America, we're not cracking that southern South America anyway. Man, Muslim Revolution completely folding. We could have flipped, Saudi Arabia, with that play. At least we catch some victory points. All right. Go ahead and attempt to realign again, just because tempo-wise we're all right. Well, at least we got him down. But for having big modifiers, we're definitely a little unlucky there. So he's going to coup, and then we'll play Liberation Theology and take Nigeria. So we'll go ahead and trigger the event. We could attempt to realign twice. So we would have had +2 modifiers on both those rolls, but based off of our current rolls, it's probably a bad idea. But just in case he had Africa scoring card and he held on to it late, and we get the surprise victory there, we want to go ahead and play it as well. We're not as worried about Central America because it's already been played, so having it open would have been nice to have been able to throw some ops in Saudi Arabia, but it is what it is. He plays Chernobyl, takes Saudi back. I mean, we're definitely going to attempt to take Zaire with Ultra Games, so it's a good realignment. But what we might do here is continue to push the attack in Asia. So we're, instead of going to South America, go to North Korea or South Korea. Instead of South Korea, we will go to North Korea because the Korea card is still out there. And then we get rid of Long Gun, which is huge. So we're chipping away in Asia. Um, all right. Not a bad hand. So this is a hand that really with nothing to worry about. So decall, we can get rid of it or hold on to it fairly easy. We can Red Scare is a great headline. We have Junto is a great card to have. Um, Star Wars is awesome. Right now we're in great shape there. And we're not really, uh, Resonate Doctrine is a great card because it doesn't hurt us. We use it in the turn. Iranian hostage crisis. Terrorism's already out of the deck, so we don't have to worry about its added buff to that card. We already, so whatever. He gets that card, no big deal. So, yep. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here. So, um, Missile Envy, which man, brazen to play Missile Envy. When I get to see it, we're going with Red Scares. We don't want to give him Red Scare, and then bunch of 3-out cards. We'll give him Iranian Hostage Crisis, which does him no good. That's a win. So we lose a net 1 up. The thing that hurts us the most on that play is literally is the, he knows I only have a 2-op play in my next play. But ultimately losing an op, yeah, we're okay with that. Um, we can hopefully play Alliance for Progress for 4 points, which would be nice. So it's cool with socialist government and Africa. So we got to slow his roll a little bit here. And we can pull ABM treaty. Nice. It's interesting seeing what he does here. Hopefully the Red Scare's making some tough decisions on his side. So he's playing the China card. So he threw it all in the North. Yeah. All right. So see if we can go ahead and flip Algiers. So he had to choose one. Um, and we're still even in Asia, which is nice. The biggest card we'd worry about right now there is literally decall, and we've got it, so that's nice. Ugh. So play Truman, get him out of France, and we keep domination. Maybe it would have been better just to go ahead and take it back. Um, I don't know. So tough decision here. I mean, we really would like to use that event, but Central America's already been scored. You're not denting South America with it. Uh, so go ahead and take our points. We still do want to play Star Wars for ABM treaty. Kind of want to make sure we get the NORAD point. So I'd like to still get into Canada as well. All right. So I pretty much, I don't know if that gets us back there. Yeah. So go ahead and protect. And so we go ahead and take Canada, overprotected link, and go ahead and retake Cuba. Just that way it's something we don't have to worry about next turn. And then we're gonna Star Wars ABM treaty these spaces. And it's tempting. We could have gone after the Middle East again. We're going to continue to keep on pushing in Africa, and then we'll. Good thing about that ABM treaty is we also get military ops. Ooh, and he plays Usuri. Not Usuri, but East European unrest, um, which is pretty brutal late. I don't know what he actually held there, but he couldn't space it. We're gonna push over in Asia. Um, so it did, Red Scare let us do pretty good there. So Bear Trap's nice. We do have Warsaw Pact, which is one of the reasons why we had slammed a ton of ops. Like there, we could have slammed into East Germany or what? Yeah, East Germany. We do have to be mindful of Ortega as a DEFCON suicide card. Um, so we definitely can't play it. So if we play the China card, this has us not playing Decal and Ortega, it means we do have to play South African Unrest and Warsaw Pact. So we can Space Warsaw Pact if we need to try to get 3 points. Also, South African Unrest, we can deal with that probably pretty easy. Um, in an ideal world, wouldn't have to deal with it. Then, just in case, at the end of this game, you know, potential plays, we might be able to, if he doesn't think about it, might be able to break Lebanon to stop his domination in the Middle East. So he throws a Korean War card, which I think he has to roll a 6 to have a shot at it. And then because if he's trying to get the victory point, here, try to get a couple victory points, get the 17 if he wins. We'll go ahead and get 2 extra victory points here. Ooh, it's close. Rolled a 5. So does he give us the coup? So if he takes North Korea, it gives us a chance to coup Nigeria, which could potentially be control of Africa. Makes you wonder, maybe he might go after Brazil, for example, and then maybe try to go into Colombia, set up some realignment, and maybe in game this as if he could control South America or at least dominate there, it might go a long way. I know he's got the points, but got Europe. Let's go after the coup. Oh, so he did. He thought about it. Um, we've got to go ahead and take South America there. We even that back up. Hopefully, that's the last play there. Because it would be nice to be able to let's see, dominate Central America, Europe, hopefully Africa, and then if we could that could be a couple points. That's 3. So we'll go ahead and take North Korea. That gives us domination in Asia, which is pretty awesome because I thought we were going to have to use the China card early on that. So whittling it back down to 9 was nice. It's gonna be close. Space's voice. So we'll go ahead. I think we'll go ahead and play South Africa and rest, and go ahead and have our worst card kind of out of the way. Yeah, so the idea there was to go into Saudi Arabia and have a chance to make the Iraq war card have a chance. Uh, but really, I mean, he's gonna have one op, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. He's gonna be able to take care of that. Um, but even though it's probably a 1 in 6 chance, we'll probably still throw the war card because we need the military ops. We can't give up these 2 victory points. It's gonna be pretty tight. Um, no harm, no foul there. The South Africa card. And I thought he'd take Botswana and then maybe gamble with the realignment. So our next plays, we'll bear. Oh, nice. So a little breathing room. Maybe we're gonna be okay. See if we can bear trap them here. Maybe something good can happen. So he gets out of it. So maybe we help him. Maybe we don't. There. Military ops. Oh, we rolled a 5. We were close. So what if? And then he's